Oh, we're back, I think.
I had to set up a second stream because YouTube is stupid. Alright, we're back. That was annoying. So basically what happened is my dad was replacing a light out back, and he was not sure which breaker was which. So he ended up turning off the breaker that was for the office where the router is. So the entire internet went down.
Crazy.
And he did not think to tell anyone before he did this.
All I gotta say is Merry Christmas.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what an adventure. What an adventure. Now I need to do the promotion thing again. This sucks. I just set up a second stream. What the hell? Why is there a poop? Why is there a poop? I don't know, man.
The emojis, man, they're crazy.
Okay. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to do the promotion thing again because I have to. Oh, that's not. That's the deck profile. Oops. Here we are. This thing right here. Oh, crazy. No. That's not the thing we want.
Part 2. I like that this is part 2.
Yeah, I have to label it so that people don't get confused. All right. Sick. We're back in business. It wasn't so much actually an internet issue as it was my dad doing something and then not thinking to inform anyone and not thinking that this might result in the entire internet going down and not inconveniencing anyone.
All I gotta say is once again, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Okay. So we were talking about
Spectrals.
Mr. Comalis. So we've got to pull up the spectrals. Okay. So these are the spectrals from before Moonrise. So we have Bronto Wisp, Fungi. I don't think you're familiar with either of these cards.
No.
So this is a fire line from Daybreak. This is the Duplock.
Yeah.
This guy can't be attacked. Your Illustrials cannot be attacked other than Fungi. So if you get 2 of them on the board, you get a Duplock.
Yeah.
And then when you cast Follow the Wisps, you can special cast a Bronto Wisp. Follow the Wisps gives one of your Illustrials the first effect for the turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bronto Wisp is a 6/5 Fire Lunar. You can disenchant a fire from your Fungi in order to target and destroy a rune. And when an Illustral on your field is destroyed in battle, you can expend a fire in order to special cast a Fungi from your underworld. More relevantly, Farrageist is a spectral. Pheromel is a spectral. That one's not really relevant. Spectaris is a spectral. Posthumous is a spectral. Then from Moonrise, Comalis itself is a spectral. This next card we're going to talk about, Cryptoris, is a spectral. Pokerwraith is a spectral. There aren't that many. Ectoplasm and Hypnoposm are spectrals. Hypnosm, I mean. And Posthumous is a spectral. So there's not that many of them.
Okay, I mean, like, being able to search Spectaris...
Yeah, being able to search Spectaris is pretty good.
Yeah, Spectaris is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. This is one of the things that has me pretty up on Porker Wraith, because, like, in a Lunar Nexus deck, you can just run one copy of Porker Wraith and you can search it.
True. Yeah, honestly, overall, I think, Comalis, and being able to get that card is pretty good, in my opinion. Yeah, and, 4/2s and all right.
It's a better Nexuser than a lot of elements have.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that it has such an offensively slanted stat line is a pretty big deal.
Exactly, right? It's not everything's Echo-Linked here.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason that card's at 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So next we have Cryptoris, which is also searchable by Comalis.
Okay, so we got Cryptoris. This Cryptoris gets +2 attack for each time you foretold this turn. Foretold gaming. All right, we're just gonna keep. We're going up from here, boys. You can expend a lunar in order to foretell 3 and add any number of lunar Elastrals that cost at least 2 spirits foretold this way to your hand. Okay, so this is a way to just like get like a foretold like 2 cost in your hand, which is funny because I think what it's full cover. Basically, the one that can special send from your hand.
Yeah, Pulveror.
Yeah, Pulveror, you can basically just get that off your foretold.
Yeah. And
then just like have a special ascension target, which is kind of cool actually.
Yeah. However, it's only foretell 3.
Yeah. So don't expect to see it. Like, But like, if you're just me with that one thunderstorm, just boom, you're gonna see.
Well, if that's the logic, we'll just open the Pulveror.
True. You'll just open the Pulveror. You're right.
You don't need this stinky loser.
Yeah. 2/4 is fine by the fact that if you just do a foretold, it's gonna be a 4/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad card. I like it.
And then the last Lunar Lestral is the Lith, Necrolith.
Oh, this is a Lunar's Lith, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that thing is a creepy art, but actually kind of creepy, not gonna lie. Okay. So this Necrolith can be normal cast with 2 Lunars if an opponent has at least 2 suppressed cards. Dense Fog Gaming.
Yeah.
When you cast this Necrolith, you can destroy a suppressed Celestial. Dense Fog Gaming.
Yeah, but also, like, you can go like, okay, I'm just going to normal send into this after suppressing something with Artemis, and now, but die.
Yeah, exactly. Satline 7/3 is alright because like it can't be cryoblasted, very important.
Yeah, but it does die to Eddie.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does die to Eddie, but it's 7 attack. Overall, and not mention the effect of being able to destroy a suppressor Lestral is pretty good because like realistically, the Dense Fog Gaming play you're gonna go for will get rid of a card that
Yeah,
that's a threat. It forces a threat off the board.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're in a behind scenario. You can just Dense Fog, and then you can literally just drop Necrolith and hit like one of their most valuable things, and then this thing can just beat over the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall pretty good in my opinion.
All right, moving on from Lunar, let's get into Earth. We have Mr. Ardbud.
Okay, Mr. Ardbud, very cute art. You can disenchant a Earth from your...
No, that's any...
Oh, so you can
that's
disenchant...
Omni.
Yeah, Omni from your...
Insectoid
cards in order to special send this Ardbud to Artivoon from your deck. When this Ardbud receives 1 or more Earth, you can search your deck for up to 1 cost Spirit Bug Elestral or Insectoid Elestral and add it to your hand.
Mega Colony Elestral.
I don't know all the Insectoid.
We'll go over that. We'll go over that.
But I mean, honestly, I have a feeling Viscerous is an Insectoid.
First, buddy. Would you like to pronounce this word again?
Ardverum? Ardverum, yeah.
I'm not sure what you said, but I don't even think there was a V in the correct spot.
I think I said Ardvum. Yeah. Well, he's an ally. That's all that matters, and he does his job.
Okay. Let's pull up the Insectoids.
I'm willing to bet everything that Viscerous is one. Like, there's no way that Viscerous is not one.
There's a number of Insectoids. So we've got NOCell, the entire where is it? Where's the rest of it? The entire Phosphocell line is Insectoids.
That doesn't matter. All you see is Rhinosect Gaming is real.
Rhinosect is in there. You can search Rhino with this. Frostmite is in there. The Wasp Ivy line is in there. Viscerous and Spectaris are both in there, as are Toxion and Toxiswarm. And from this earlier in this set, we also have Toxiri and a Night Venom are Insectoids.
Yeah, honestly, it's not a bad card.
And a Nobby. Nobby is also an Insectoid.
Yeah, Nobby, okay.
That's actually a pretty big one.
So yeah, honestly, like I would say, like the fact that it's just able to like set up a play, getting you like say something like that can become a threat for the next turn, like Viscerus, Spectaris.
Yeah.
Like I think it would be maybe even worthwhile to see some decks will be just trying out Ardbud, just for the sake of not even like trying to special ascend it, but just to play it as like with a couple of your Earths you play in some decks.
Yeah.
To just search for like an answer card, like because once Viscerus gaming starts, same with Spectaris being an answer to Galaxy, you could do some neat things, right? Realistically, it's plus Nobby, right? So. Overall, I think it's a very like neat card, and I think we're going to see what Ardverum does.
Yeah. So this stat line is actually like it's super low, but on the other hand, on receive search is so strong. Like a search that you can double dip on is so powerful.
Yeah, not to mention like all I'm saying is Alter Gaming is crazy.
Yeah.
Alter Gaming.
Yeah. That was like precisely my point there.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about Mr. Ardvarm. Mr. Ardvarm's very cool.
Okay, so he gets around Cryoblast, so he's got a +1 in my book. Alright, so when you cast this Ardvarm, you can search your deck for an Insectoid card and add it to your hand. Very good. So not only are you getting the first search, you're getting a secondary search.
Yeah, and this search is not restricted by cost.
Yeah.
So this can search Rhinosect directly.
Exactly.
So you can go with the first one, search Rhino, second one, search Rhinosect,
and just
get the whole line. Yeah.
You can, and then its secondary effect is you can target and destroy an insect celestial, and if you do, you can special send this Ardverum to Antlion from your hand or deck. So that honestly, like I said, like first, the 6/3 stat line, and the fact that on entry it will be going, okay, you know what? I need another Insectoid card, which can set up the Rhinosect gaming play. Get you that Viscera. Get you something that you need that's good.
Spectaris, Nobby.
Yeah, you've got a lot more options. Like Spectral's, like so. My problem with Spectral is it seems like you most of the time will just want Spectaris.
Yeah.
But here you're grabbing not only Spectaris, you're grabbing Viscerus, Nobby, so forth. Like very good. I like that.
Also, like it being Earth Lunar makes it very clear what they want you to be doing here.
Yeah.
Like all the best Insectoid Celestials are in either Earth or Lunar. So like it's very clear what the intent here is for you to do.
Exactly. So I could definitely see a hybrid version of just like a Lunar.
Now, one thing I would point out.
Yeah, fun fact, you can actually...
Yeah.
So it's not just your insect life. So you can actually target and destroy...
I would like to destroy your Viscerus and Special Ascend!
And, it's... Now, keep in mind... that is very scary, because your opponent may just get punished for thinking they are in a winning position with their Viscerus or Spectaris, and then you just go, how about we just turn the tables on you now?
Yeah.
And then now you're selling the winning position because you've got a 3-cost Spirit Celestial and they've lost their thing that could potentially out it.
Alright, now let's talk about the last boy in this line. This is Mr. Antitan.
Mr. Anti, okay, I like the art. Let's see. If you can discard an Insectoid card from your hand in order to target and destroy a card, good effect. This effect can be activated up to 2 times in a turn. Very good. So that means you can basically essentially pop 2. Now, while there's an Insectoid Celestial on the field, this Antine is unaffected by opponent's Celestial effects. And obviously, I don't think he's an Insectoid, though, right?
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
none of this time is Insectoid.
Okay, well, thankfully, that shouldn't be too much of a problem, because if you have managed to proc a Viscerus, you should, in theory, have a nice and friendly body over there to give you that unaffected proc.
Yeah. Another mechanism by which you can do this is one of the searchable Insectoid cards is Ignector. And Ignector, on normal cast, allows you to special cast 2 more Ignector from your hand or deck in attack position with fire enchantment. So you can theoretically go Ardbud on turn 1, search for Ignector, then you will then you protect your Ardbud on the next turn, and then on your next turn you cast the Ignector, summon out 2 more Ignector. Pop the first Ignector to ascend into Ardvarm. Then you pop the second Ignector to special ascend into Antitan, and you still have an Insectoid on the board to give Antitan its protection.
Exactly, right? So realistically, this card is very solid. I mentioned the 11/8 stat line is very good. For we're getting him out. Overall, I think he's a very solid card. It has a lot of just the fact that it has built-in popping for the board, and the fact that you can also just have that protection by just naturally having those Insectoids on your board.
Yeah, and given how much Earth has lost as an archetype because of the limits, I I thought that there could be a very viable version of Earth Nexus that was doing this insectoid stuff before, but now it's like, okay, you've lost so much. This can be your new core.
Exactly. Not to mention, like, with they're getting back 3 Demeter. Like, this
Yeah,
is-
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
so,
Exactly.
whole opportunities.
One thing though is I don't actually value this immunity that highly, because I don't think this is actually going to be very relevant most of the time. The main thing I can think of that this actually stops is like Boom Bat or like 3 cost with a pop effect.
Of course, but it's just a nice added
Yeah,
bonus
it's
onto
a nice
the
bonus to have. But like as far as protection goes, like this is definitely on the weaker end.
Yeah.
Clovey is an old card. We don't need to talk about that.
Cedar Sword.
Cedar Sword.
Who knows which side is looking from?
Frost
Mentioned.
Frost.
Okay, so when the Cedar Sword is sent from your deck to the underworld, you can special cast it with 2 Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Earth or 2 Frost. So
And
it will always be misenchanted when you cast it this way.
Yeah. And you can. Its effect is its secondary effect is you can expend a Earth in order to search your deck for up to a 3 cost Earth or Frost Celestial and add it to your hand. Okay, personally, I would feel like Titan would be a good add, maybe, potentially. However, for Frost, for your 3 cost, it's realistically only what? I would say it's the 3rd form of Cryo.
Well, there is a specific card that this is meant to go with that we will get to later. Anti-Titan is actually not super good because like consider that like if you properly enchant this, it will be Earth Frost.
Yeah.
And Anti-Titan needs 2 Earth and a Lunar.
That is true.
So it will be misenchanted. Most of the time, this effect is probably going to be fake. If this card is real, it's entirely just because it's a free cast. You can get off like a Morlith Mill.
That's true. Honestly, I think the 4/6 line is like kind of a little weird, actually.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. But I wouldn't be surprised if it had a different stat line in testing and it was busted.
Yeah, I definitely could see it. If it had like a bit more of an offensive stat line, it would be kind of like really annoying to deal with, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, overall, I think it seems like an interesting card.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. The last Earth guy. So this is Cactobrawl.
Okay, so Cactobrawl is when an opponent activates a counter rune, you can disenchant an Earth from this Cactobrawl in order to negate that rune, and then its second effect is when a player casts Sandstorm to read Sandstorm, you can special send this Cactobrawl to Cactobrum from your hand or deck. Yeah, honestly, like, I kind of actually like this effect, really.
Really?
It's just.
I've been surprised by that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what is it? Is Sandstorm in the set or is it an older card?
Sandstorm is an older card. Let's pull that up.
Yeah.
Because there was actually another card that special sends with Sandstorm from the set Sandstorm is from.
Yeah, I need to see what Sandstorm is before I kind of like get it.
Okay, so this is Sandstorm.
Okay, so for each Celestial that is Earth Enchanted.
That is not Earth Enchanted.
That is not Earth Enchanted. Return it to its owner's hand if it is in defense position. Otherwise, change it to defense position until the end phase. Those Celestials cannot change position. I mean, it's a cute card. It's not like it's nothing too crazy, but yeah, honestly, like it's like kind of okay. Yeah. So personally, I think it's just kind of a bit of a fun card, Cactobrum, because you could, in theory, just have like a way to, I don't know. I mean, just.
So when you were saying that you thought the card was alright, were you saying that more in regards to the special ascension effect or the first effect?
The special ascension, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel that. Yeah, like the first effect's just it's neat, but it's nothing.
But it has to kill itself to do it,
Yeah.
basically.
So I'm not sure what counter, like if they're gonna counter ruin your Cactobrawl.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is nice though. I guess you could in some scenarios. I don't know. It seems like the second effect's more what it's kind of trying to gear towards, while the first effect is just some additional thing that they threw in with it. Now I want to see the second form though.
All right, so this is Cactobrum.
Okay, so Cactobrum is this Cactobrum cannot be targeted by invoke runes. Okay. When this Cactobrum receives 1 or more Earth, you can special cast a Cactobrawl from your underworld. Okay, I mean,
so the concept is that you special send to Cactobrum, and then it will immediately cast out the Cactobrawl from your underworld.
yeah.
And the Cactobrum is immune to invokes, and then the Cactobro
Well,
can
protect
negate
from
any
counters. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the concept.
However, the only problem is that stat line. I would have.
Yeah, the stat line.
Yeah.
4-6 is the devil's stat line.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess Galaxy, Spec, Vis can all clear me pretty easily.
Yeah. You do not want to be a 2-cost that in attack position gets cleared by a 1-cost 5.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. And not mention the amount of like things you're gonna have to be getting. Yeah, I would say it's a fun little concept. It's like a fun concept card.
Yeah. All right, fire. We'll go over Cinder real quick because it is actually relevant to the Ascension this time. So this is Cinder. This is actually a base set card.
Oh, cool. Okay. So Cinder receives one or more fire. Your opponent must send the top 3 cards of their deck to the underworld. Mill Gaming, I guess.
Yeah. This is the card I showed Andrew early on.
3/2. Yeah, I mean it's cool. Like I don't know. It just it seems like an okay card. Like my thing is though I don't really look at mill too heavily except Morlith was kind of interesting.
And that's self mill.
Yeah, that's self mill, not like opponent milling out. You
yeah.
know? Because obviously I right now I don't have like a big opinion on milling your opponent right now because it doesn't seem like it's obviously strong enough or even very viable. But to be fair, from my experience in other card games, milling your opponent out is only fun for the opponent doing it, and it's very unfun for the opponent getting milled.
Unless they designed like early Abigail Black Dragons, where it was more about like hitting a threshold of number of cards in your opponent's drop zone,
and then start getting a bonus effects. I agree with that. Yeah. If it's just straight try to mill your opponent out like swamps, it's like...
I have an important question for you, Duelist.
Yeah.
In your experience playing Elestrals, has a card called Lumaru ever resolved its effect against you yet?
No.
Okay. So Lumaru is a solar 5/2 that when it beats over something, mills your opponent for 3. My personal experience with Lumaru is that every time Lumaru resolves, I mill an Ambrosia. Without fail. So maybe mill is stronger than it seems.
Yeah, that's true. I mean...
if you just mill an Ambrosia every time.
That's true, but if you use that new Foretell card though, Joel, you can actually get back that Ambrosia.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's this Ascension, Salashade. Now, now let's not look at the effect first. Let's make sure we look at that stat line first.
Yeah, 3/3 for a 2-cost is quite low. I've never been a fan of it because I feel like my mindset on 2-cost to 3-cost is they should become beefier.
They should be big.
Yeah, because I'm committing more resources
exactly.
into making them, right?
It should cost my opponent at least an equal amount of resources to deal with this.
Exactly, right? Okay, so its effect is Salashade will get +1 attack for each Celestial in your opponent's underworlds. Underworlds, okay.
Yeah.
Fun little 4-player card.
Yeah.
When a player casts an Celestial, an opponent must send the top 3 cards of the deck to the underworld. So, okay, my only thing is it's a really fun card. Like, it's a really fun card. But my only concern is the fact that its defense is going to still just be 3.
Yeah, and still nice Eddie!
Eddie, like, a Zeus Cryo, a lot of things just naturally will. But however, he's going to have a crazy high stat line if he hits the board realistically in some like especially in the mid game, the late game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Plus with the already big milling to begin with, like you're going to probably have at least 4 or 5 probably you'd be a 10 potentially, honestly, pretty easily I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, overall, just a fun card. It's just a very fun card. Fun smile. Yeah, I agree.
Fun smile.
Yeah. Fun for them to mill, not fun for the opponent.
New guy, Bellaby.
Alright, Bellaby. Okay, so we got Fire and Wind enchanted Elestrals get +1 power, and then you can target a Fire or Wind enchanted Elestral and give it the effect, this Elestral is unaffected by counter runes until your next turn. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the problem is most counter runes are reactable immediately.
Yes. You pinpointed the issue immediately.
Yeah, I feel like
that by time you use this, they've already used their Gorgon's Gaze, they've already used their PTA. They can chain the Tsunami to this effect.
Yeah, my only concern is just because it's very much a most of the time one monster comes on the board a turn. So
Yeah.
this implies you're already in a winning scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So if Bella B makes it onto the board and you've got your bigger guy and he's getting the protection, then you're probably in a win more scenario and you're already in a winning state of the game at that point.
Yeah.
So would you really want to summon the Bella B, or would you summon another impactful card?
Mm-hmm.
Which probably isn't Bella B.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, so I'm not a huge fan. Plus that stat line, Cryo Blast Friends are cool.
Yeah. Technically, it's a 3/2, but
Yeah, but still, like,
yeah.
not enough, unfortunately.
Now, this one, I'm actually a pretty big fan of this card. This is Infernax.
And for next, okay, let's see. You can expend a wind in order to return wind dimension again. Okay, in order to return an opponent's card to their hand. I like that. I actually do like that a lot.
I think that effect's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. When you cast an Celestial or rune with at least a fire or wind, you can give this Infernax +2 until the end of it. Okay, all right. Let's roll rune. Okay, yeah. So honestly, it's actually makes up for that 4/7 stat line a little bit, actually.
Yeah, because it's effectively always going to be a 6/7.
Yeah.
And you can make it go. You can basically turn any of your counter runes into like effectively combat tricks by buffing up its attack mid battle.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, and also I agree. Like it. I don't like the design of the card, but I do like the design of the creatures. That's what Celestials has, is a very good grip to like the very cool arts.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you want to play for fun, throw in whatever Celestial you think looks cool. And then see if it works. You never know.
Yeah.
So that's what the cool thing about Celestials is. Okay. Yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty solid card, actually. I do like the fact that it has the ability to bounce, and then also the fact that it can basically self-buff itself to a good beater number. And yeah, 7 defense is very good.
So, low-key, I think this is a better support card for Wind as a deck than any of the actually primarily Wind cards in the set.
Exactly. You know what I was thinking? I was actually thinking the crazy thing we could do right now is, what Braden can do is he can play a couple of Vipyros, and then he can start N4 gaming,
Yeah, exactly.
And then also, he should do play Eruption too.
You can go back. Don't put that back in his head. I don't want to try and deal with talking him down from that again.
Talking about that clip. Okay.
Okay. That's Fire Celestial. This is Torchin.
This is that guy. You're like from one of those like Pixar movies. I feel like. Torchin.
Yeah. And for the Illustriad, they had like this animated intro, and this guy was carrying a torch.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've actually known about this creature for a long time.
Okay, it looks like he comes hollow, so he's got to be pretty good. I just got to assume based on a couple things, right? Okay, so when this Torchin declares an attack, you can return up to fire spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck up to the number of chanting spirits. So, chanting fire spirits on your field. I mean, honestly, it's funny because if you're like in a scenario where you've got like a little bit of things going on, Torchin just gives you that life. But 1/1.
Consider this for a moment, Duelist. We go Torchin and we equip it with Necklace of Harmonia. We now have 3 fires enchanting on our field, and Torchin is 6 attack.
Argo Gaming is true. Argo Gaming is real. However, I think, Cryoblast is a cool card. And
Cryoblast is a very cool card.
Yeah, and I feel it'd be really sad reacts only if you got Gorgons and then next turn got Cryoblast.
Yeah. So, like, one of the biggest problems with the card is that, like, it just loses to every counter rune. Like, Tsunami, Gorgon's Gaze, and Alter all stop him before he can even attack.
Yeah.
Pite isn't so bad because you can still declare an attack, and if you put a necklace on it, it's still going to be 4 attack, which isn't too bad.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like a neat card. It's a very fun card, it looks like. Right now, I just unfortunately just know it will just run into so much back row.
Yeah.
But maybe if you keep in mind, Illustriads, with Hurricane coming out, you could play Wind Pyro with Hurricane.
Now we're talking, Duelist! Now we're talking!
Yeah, now we can just win. So I think if you have those scenarios, if everything lines up, it will work.
Yeah.
It just works.
And like one of the problems that we ran into when we were testing Fire was that we were running out of spirits super quickly. So like this could just be the last piece Fire needs. It could be. I personally don't think it will be. I think it's a bit too fragile and isn't like the kind of good stuffs card that Fire really needs to pull itself together, but I think it's a solid enough card, and we'll probably see some play in Fire decks. It's simply because if you're on the Stoke the Force stuff, you can just search for it.
Yeah, well, not to mention, I think it has potential down the line.
Yeah.
So as like the card pool progresses a bit more, it's not like a bad card by any means, but it's just a card that feels.
If Fire gets a Divine Rune that is good, this card becomes way better.
Hephaestus Gaming. One day, maybe.
Okay, on to water. All right, we have Mr. Snark.
I love him. Wow. He's just Jeff, basically. Jeff the Land Shark, basically. Okay. Alright, so when you cast this Snark, you can search your deck for a card with the enchantment cost of a water and a... That's a... No,
lunar.
Lunar, yeah.
So it has to very specifically be a 2-cost card that costs 1 water, 1 lunar.
Okay.
So like Drake King, Rock and a Hard Place, and there's a few other cards with that cost in this set.
Oh boy, Draking consistency up. We're up, boys.
Yeah.
We're really up. And then Adrian, yeah, that's a good effect. 3/3 is a not bad stat line. Great art. The art carries it, honestly. Good art. Okay, yeah, no, overall, I think it's just a nice little consistency booster if you just wanted to, because realistically, going forward, like, as, you know, like I said, the card pool can always progress further. They can make more 2-costs that have that kind of, like, you know, water, lunar, as a 2-cost.
Yeah.
It could be just a consistency card to get, like, makes it better. So, like I said, I like this card, especially for future-proofing, potentially.
One thing I really like about this card for Draking in particular is that, honestly, Rock and a Hard Place is a goddamn ass card. I hate that card so much, and Draken is not very good either. So, like, Snark allows you to potentially just drop Rock and a Hard Place and Draken completely from the deck, and you still have the same amount of consistency of finding Draking.
Yeah.
Okay, Ascension, Joblin.
Whoa, is this the card that you're actually probably meant to search? That's crazy.
It's one of the tools in the toolbox.
Okay, so you can expend water in order to change the position of an Celestial that is not water enchanted. When one or more Celestials change their positions, you can draw... Card draw? Okay. Wait. Tsunami gets me, and that's me a card you're telling me right now? That's crazy. Okay, 8/4, I like that. That's...
I really wish that defense stat was 1 higher.
Yeah, 5 is my favorite number.
I really wish this wasn't just another water ascension that Galaxy looked at and went, "You're mine, idiot."
Yeah, you're mine now. Yeah, that is true. However, I do like the effect, and I think very much that
However, fortunately, if this comes down against the Galaxy, you can change Galaxy's position and beat over it.
Exactly. You can get rid of that stupid Galaxy guy.
Yeah.
And then you can then start drawing cards, and then they can start crying.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I'm pretty sure, change the... Poseidon, I remember correctly, Poseidon is the, you basically disenchant from it, and you are able to change position, I believe?
No, Poseidon does not do that. Poseidon would be so good if it did that! Holy shit!
Okay.
Poseidon's effect is it nexuses a water from itself.
Oh, right, okay.
That's why you use it for turboing out 3 costs.
Damn, okay, I was like... thinking
oh my god, if Poseidon did that, if we had a Divine Rune that did that, that would be so cracked!
Yeah.
There would actually be a 3rd color on the level of Earth and Thunder if we had a Divine Rune that did that!
I'm surprised there isn't, right, realistically. Like, if you just can only maximum put 3 onto it or something, I think it would probably be, like, not too, like, crazy, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, Galaxy ban when? Ask A-Drive. Just keep asking. But keep in mind, A-Drive's response will always be, "Thank you for playing Last Roll." Or, to be fair, he also says he doesn't answer some questions unless you've won Premier events. Specifically trash. Yeah, no, honestly, I think this is a neat card, though. I like this card, actually. And a good art.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of this card. I think this card has very high potential.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Definitely going to be a solid card in the set for Moonrise.
Okay, so we're going to go over Oysters real quick, because this is another reprint, but it's a base set card that you probably aren't
It's
very
Cloister,
familiar with.
basically. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, they do this thing like every time they give like a new ascension to a Celestial that already exists, that previous Celestial gets reprinted in the set.
Obviously, because that's good, yeah.
And typically so far, they've always had new artwork for those reprints.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So this Oysters gets +1 defense for each water enchanting on the field. I'm just saying, Poseidon. Poseidon is what? That makes it 6? That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm going to point out that Earth and Fire both have an attack point version of this that does not see any play.
Now keep in mind, hear me out, gamers. You got your Oysters, you got Poseidon in the back, and then you're in a winning position, and then you're able to get Galaxy on the board. Now your Oysters is a crazy 6/1, just like Mustation.
And then you attack in with the Oysteress, and they flip Gorgon's Gaze on your Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go, man, Adrian Barber is a pretty good player. yeah. Honestly, like it's an alright card. It's nothing too crazy. Like, it's just a little fun thing.
All right. So this is new Ascension. This is Oystillery.
Oh, got a gun. Sick. Okay,
Yeah, he's got a gun.
Okay, so this Oystillery in your hand can special summon from your Oysteress if you also disenchant water from your field. That's not that hard if you have Poseidon up. Think about that. Not too hard. And considering most of the time Poseidon isn't that worthwhile anyways, you might as well just use that material to just special send it. And then you can discard a water enchant card, just a water card in order to target and destroy card. So that's what the can's for. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, like honestly, I think it's alright. 4/8 is quite a wide stat line. 4, however, Galaxy is the coolest card.
I would like to be 8 attack.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks like we're slowly starting to design water cards to work with Galaxy in some way.
No. Actually, most water cards a lot of water cards have like high defense stats. It's actually a more recent trend as of Daybreak that we've started getting more offensively slanted water cards that synergize poorly with Galaxy.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. Honestly, like, overall, and the pop effect's pretty not bad. Like, yeah, I think it's an okay card. Nothing too crazy, though, personally. But the fact that you can obviously special send it onto Oysteress by just disenchanting a water, which, if you're playing Poseidon, which you probably should be still playing Poseidon, because he does have the ability to Nexus things, which is, getting more spirits around. Overall, yeah, I think it's an okay card. I think it's neat.
The pop a card by discarding a card and not paying any spirits is like, I like that sort of effect a lot.
I agree. I'm also not a huge fan of always having to expend from my spirit
exactly.
deck.
If I can get this sort of thing that way, that's really nice.
I think Frost should have that, actually.
Yes, I agree. Frost should really have that.
Yeah, I definitely like that more, because there's sometimes where you're in game states where, like, what's actually your limiting factor is your spirit deck being too low, and you're starting to look at, like, you actually have, like, a 4 or 5 card hand. Now, I don't obviously want it to be a scenario where, we're completely gearing away from just paying from the spirit deck, and it's now a lot of hand costs, but I like mixing in a couple options like that, because it can actually help your opponent get back into the game, realistically. Not because you had a bad start, and now you just have to suffer, realistically, in those game states.
Yeah. Starbit.
Oh my god, I love him. Oh, this guy's a god, I can tell. Alright, okay, so this Starbit gets +2 attack for each water enchanting it. Poseidon! Okay, you can, Nexus, I like that, built-in Nexus. Okay, up to 2 waters. Poseidon! When this Starbit has 7 or more power, okay, during your main phase, you must either destroy it or special set it to Starbit Supernova from your hand or deck. Okay, so wait, the 1/1. Oh boy.
Yeah.
A little scary, but
But if you Nexus 2 from Poseidon, it becomes a 7 immediately because it has 3 spirits on it, each giving it +2.
It's true. Now, it'd be really weird if there was a Galaxy on the board this whole time. Crazy how that card does things. You can never get up. We're always down, folks.
Okay, so Starbit Supernova.
Oh, okay. So we're from the Heisei generation. I understand. So Starbit Supernova. This Starbit cannot be normal cast. Okay. When you special cast the Starbit with another Starbit's effect, it gains the effect of, if this Starbit will be destroyed, first you may Nexus all spirits from it. If you do, draw a card, then it is destroyed. That is a very nice effect, actually. Yeah. Because honestly, if you're doing these Nexus shenanigans, which is what Poseidon is trying to do, you can not only... Let me make sure... Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, you can put on other creatures too.
Yeah, or you can just return to the Poseidon.
Yeah, that's very nice, actually. Yeah. I like this card, actually. This is like 7/2 is a little low. But just play Atlantis, guys. If you're a water gamer, you should always be looking for the city of Atlantis, the underground city of Atlantis.
Or consider this: if you're sending it from Starbit with the effect, it already has like 3 water on it. So just for the spirit you attach from Spirit Deck for ascending, attach Frost.
Yeah, exactly. You can put a Frost on it too,
Yeah. Another really cool thing about this card is it can be special cast by things that aren't Starbit. So you can special cast it with like Foamy.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Foamy gamers.
Like I think there's potential for a deck that doesn't even run base Starbit and just special casts out Supernova using Foamy and Rise from the Depths, which Rise from the Depths revives a 1-cost water if you have Atlantis on the board.
Yeah.
For one spirit. Neither of those, by the way, cares about what spirit you're enchanting the special cast Celestial with.
Yeah.
So you can misenchant them with Frost to dodge Galaxy, to become immune to Cryoless, etc. The big problem that sort of strategy has right now is we don't really have good discard outlets at the moment. Like, Oistillery is probably the best one, but it requires you to normal send into it, which isn't, like, ideal.
It's also kind of weird because it does have that weird 1 enchantment cost on it.
Yeah.
So, unironically, a shield is
Yeah. Shield is the other big problem. Like, beyond just drawing into it naturally, if it gets shielded back to your hand, well, you can't do anything with this. So that sort of idea really needs, like, a really good discard outlet to be released before I think it can really shine. But I think the idea has a lot of potential. I think this card is really strong.
Now, gamers, if you just have the Hurricane and you play your whole hand, and then this card's crazy. You're gaming. You're always going to be gaming.
You're gaming. Like, this is, if you cast it out with Starbit's effect, this is going to typically be a 4-spirit attacker.
Yeah.
Which is going to be hitting for a lot if you clear out their back row with Hurricane. So that's pretty crazy.
Exactly, right? And you're in a very good position at that point forward.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Now we have your friends, Thunder. Let's talk about Thunder.
Thunder. Okay, we got Electrify. You can disenchant a Thunder from Electrify.
Hey, remember when you said you haven't seen that many 1/1s? This is like our third 1/1.
Yeah. Well, it's a running trend now. You can disenchant a Thunder from your Electrify in order to switch your deck for a 1-cost Spirit Thunder Electral and add it to your hand. Well, if I get to be more guys, that's pretty good. However, I can grab Elochick. Guys. Technically speaking, that means Thunder has more Elochicks. But my only problem is, though, realistically, if I'm committing a guy as Thunder, I kind of want to just be playing Toxion, Aster Rabbit, the 1 Elochick, or some other guy. But my problem is, I don't like the whole idea of just drop my dude down. He goes, peace. Keep in mind, I do not mind when going first, though. Electrify would be actually pretty sick because...
Yeah.
You can just literally just have some back row, play Electrify, and then get the actual card you want instead of play for next turn while you have back rows. So overall, I think this card's okay. It's nothing too crazy, but I see it's a niche play, like opportune options, especially the fact that we have Elochick at 1. Because now you can have that 1 Elochick.
Now let's talk about Ascension, Electronite.
All right, Electronite. All right, I like Beetles.
So first we have the curse stat line. We have 4/6.
Legendary. I love it. Okay, so you can Nexus a Thunder or Lunar, and then when this Electronite receives 1 or more Thunder, you can special cast an Electrify.
The card we just talked about.
Okay, yeah, sorry. From your hand or deck, when you activate your Electrified spell, you can draw a card. Like I said, I think that to pair together, I see the potential.
Yeah.
I see the vision. Only thing is I see that 4 stat line punishing me, and that's the vision I see.
Yeah.
That's the only vision I see, guys.
But you get to go +2 duelist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, it can grab Elochick, and I just so I can slow my deck down before I lose. Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you just believe in the power of Quackle Lycoon, anything's possible.
One thing about Electronite is, like, this is a card that's like, okay, I kind of hope this card is ass because I think this card is horrifying if it's good. I think this card is terrifying if it's good because it's a Nexuser in Thunder that also goes +2 immediately.
Yeah, because of Aster Rabbit plus, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and then if you have a Nexus Bank and you Nexus onto it, you get to go +2 again on the turn you bring it down, which is nuts. Absolutely crazy. The big drawback, of course, is that you effectively have to run 3 Electrify to be able to do this reliably. And that's like a lot of sauce for a not so great card in your deck.
Yeah, Plus having to like play, I don't know. I think playing if this was in a lunar deck, lunar could probably not. No, okay. I think this is mainly still more of just a thunder card. Yeah. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah. I like Electrify as a card, however, but yeah, I see where Joel's vision of this is, but it can be terrifying because yeah, with Alter and all these Nexus Bank potentials,
I ascend and go +4.
Yeah, you can create a game state where you can actually probably just like catapult yourself so far ahead,
yeah,
that your opponent can't come back.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, Insectoid, by the way.
Yeah, this is an Insectoid. Yeah, both of them are Insectoids.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall, yeah, I see the potential in this card. I definitely would be something I need to test around with, probably. Kind of just like first glance, see how it works in like games, essentially. Just Lunar's a little weird to. Oh wow, I'm not even.
This art is so much better than the Stars art, by the way.
Absolutely. However, this card is terrible.
Would you like to regale the chat with your Titano Strike story?
Okay, so so the last premiere event, the one before I won, I came top 16. My 2 losses were actually not even losses, it felt like. So I'll take it back. The loss against Sir Tractor was my own loss.
Yeah.
Because it was just...
No, it was Titano Strike's loss.
Yeah, it was Titano Strike's loss, which he gifted me. So essentially, he set one and had like a monster. I don't remember who it was. I think it was some beater.
It doesn't matter who it was.
Yeah, because the idea was to get rid of both those cards, right?
Yeah.
And then I played down, ye old Titano Strike, just to activate, just to walk into PTA. And so basically, just to walk into PTA, he pays it off, and then yeah, he paid it off. The Celestial was gonna pop, and then I looked at my Thunderstorm in my hand, and I'm like, this card's now just dead to me. And then I proceed to lose the tempo at that point because my Titano Strike with its mediocre stat line just sadly
PTA
cried.
down to 0 attack, so it can't even deal damage.
Yeah. So, as you can see, I just exploded and died.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool art. I'm not a fan of this card.
See, okay, one thing I will say is we know for a fact we're getting a Tidal Thunderstorm in, I believe, set 5. So if that Tidal Thunderstorm has like a different effect, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll just have to see. But right now, Titano Strike is just a meme dream.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's time to see Magneros.
Magneros!
Okay, so Magneros is you can Nexus up to 2 Thunders.
It's your favorite sound line, 2-4.
I love it here. When you do, you can foretell cards equals the number of Thunder enchanted cards on your field and add up to 1 Thunder Invoke rune foretold this way into your hand. You see, with our friendly Zeus coming back to 3 for Moonrise, I could see a little bit of potential with this. It's a 1 Thunder Invoked rune, right? It's not like a 1-cost one?
No. Any Thunder Invoke rune.
Okay.
So this gets Thunderstorm, Thunderstorm, Race to the Top, and Hurricane.
There is some potential there. And also the fact that it has the ability to Nexus things around, which, keep in mind, if you just Nexus some things around, Aster Rabbit can be a real friend.
Yeah.
A real friend.
Yeah.
However, yeah, 2-4 is a bit of like a lacking feature of this card. I would have maybe just traded, like I said, it's my same thing with Titano Strike. I'd rather just trade a stat and just like lean it more to one way than it being in this very weird middle ground of not only does it get cooked by Eddie, it gets just cooked by a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just naturally. And I'm like, I think, this is not a bad card, though. I think the effect of being able to grab, like, an Invoke rune, potentially, which is, like, your Thunderstorm, which is an out. You just gotta be careful, though, because, like, all these cards do cost things. Mm-hmm. And, gotta watch your Thunder count at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because if you're Nexusing up to 2 Thunders, you've got your Zeus up, potentially. Like, you're already down on Thunders.
Yeah. So realistically, I don't think this effect is like going to resolve most of the time because most likely you're only running like 2 to 3 Invoke Thunder runes, which means that I think you can expect to foretell like 2 or 3 cards. It'll be minimum 2 because otherwise you wouldn't be able to use the effect. But I don't think you'll be getting more than 4. And top 4 for like 3 copies in your deck is not very good odds.
Exactly.
I think if this card is playable, it will only be playable for Moonrise because in set 5 we will get Escape from Tartarus Spark Hit, and if it's like the version of Escape from Tartarus Spark Hit that we last saw, which was I believe 4/1, Nexus effect that does nothing on Nexus, but it allows you to Nexus, and on cast you get to look at two cards in your opponent's hand and discard one of them. That's just like, if you want Nexus stuff, that's just way better than Magneros.
Yeah.
Because like, you basically, for this card, you basically have to ignore this entire section of the card. This card is a 2/4 that nexuses up to 2, and you get to foretell cards up to the number you of Thunder Enchanted cards.
Yeah, so realistically, you're able to get like a better control of what your draws are going to be, at least.
Yeah.
However, yeah, there's a lot of punishment though for like this Nexus, just like how Keep My Aqua Links though has like a crazy effect. They can respond to the first part, sorry, after you finish the Nexus, and then just Gorgons the Magneros, and then you just end up in a scenario where it's like the Magneros is just gonna be prone to get beaten over because his stat line isn't anything special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I'm not like the biggest fan, but I can see the foretell plays where you can just get better controlled draws, right?
Yeah.
Overall, yeah, that's what I think about that. That is my thought on the Thunder cards in the set, basically.
All right, win time, Mr. Wengen.
All right, time for me to give opinion on wind cards, just so I can have somebody else who clearly knows more about wind.
Brayden?
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
Brayden doesn't know shit.
Yeah, when this Windjin receives one or more wins, you can name a card and then foretell 3. Oh my gosh! If one or more cards with that name are foretold this way, you may add 1 to your hand and special ascend this Windjin to Tornado Jin from your hand or deck. I guess you're just gonna have to be playing like out of your mind, because you're gonna have to know what your next 3 cards are for this to be pretty.
So some context I would provide you for this is that Solar has multiple runes that allow you to set a certain card on the top of your deck. They have a card called First Light, which is 1 Solar. Search your deck for any Solar Celestial and shuffle your deck and then put it on top.
Yeah.
They also have in this set a counter rune that puts an Celestial from your Underworld on top of your deck. Also, important, you name a card. A card's name does not include the card title. So in the case of, say, Lunar Phase, if you call Lunar Phase, all 8 Lunar Phases will fulfill the requirement.
Oh, thank God. This isn't like Minecraft Gaming where if you just don't completely perfectly name the card.
Yeah. The title is not part of the card name when card name is referenced in effects.
Okay, so like realistically, if I were just to put in like, okay, I see it. Okay, that's not too.
Yeah, so there's a couple archetypes that you can play this in where this will be basically guaranteed to go off.
However, I will say this for the sake of the other wind player, like the other 6 wind players in the world.
Yeah.
Once again, wind is not allowed to have.
Yeah, this is not a wind card. This is not a wind card. This is a solar card and a maybe a lunar phase card, but it's not a wind card.
Yeah, this is a fake wind card. the wind in its name is actually fake.
Yeah,
it's just Jin.
Yeah. Though, I think it's very funny how many receivers Wind has at this point. I think this is the 4th one. I think they have the most receivers of any color.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's kind of weird. All right,
okay.
Let's see Tornado.
This is Tornado. Unfortunately, he is a Dies to Cryoblast gamer.
Oh, yeah. That's even more reason for Brain to want to play Wind right now. Okay. You can expend a Wind or Solar in order to search your deck for up to 3 cards with different names. If you do, add 1 at random to your hand and then shuffle the rest in your deck. Oh, and yeah, this seems alright. Like, I mean, however, Cryoblast, the 8 stat line's kind of what. Sure, you could have 8 power.
8 is pretty good power wise, but like the defense is very low. Dies to Cryoblast.
I don't like that Eddie just looks at me wrong and just or you just get Tsunami and go, uh-oh.
Now, I do personally like this effect a lot, because what you're able to do, like, is you just go like, okay, I'm gonna declare Gorgon's Gaze PTA Tsunami. I will get a good counter rune.
Hey, Joshua Smith, you're not wrong, actually. There is a lot of people playing Pantera now. That is true. There's a lot of people playing Pantera now. Yeah, I think
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's a lot of cards that are balanced by the fact that they fall to Eddie. I think a card can be fine with that sort of stat line that dies to Eddie, but it's always if a card's like more middling, that's more where that comes into mind, I think. For like a card that can effectively be like an easy one card ascension, I think dying to Cryoblast is actually completely fine.
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, you still at least can get the first effective resolve no matter what.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Tornado Jin will at least like immediately fulfill his purpose.
Yeah.
Which is on entry, he is beater, he will expend, he will get you a card, and then he will try to go in for damage.
Also, if you're playing with a stadium, the stadium can prevent it from dying to Cryoblast at the very least, which is very much appreciated. Very glad it's not 8-1. If it was 8-1, that would be so bad.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna rephrase, actually, let me rephrase what, every time I say, like, it dies to Eddie or it dies to Cryoblast, that doesn't automatically discount the card entirely. I want to just, like, basically explain that, it's just the most common out, which will be what you're gonna run into when you're playing in, casual.
You have to be prepared for that.
Exactly. You're most commonly going to run into that.
You need to be aware that the card is not going to stick around long most of the time because of that weakness.
You just have to accept that your celestial friends are just not meant to last for very long amounts of time, and they have to go to the underworld. Where it's not about the destination. It's about the journey of the friends you made along the way who went to the underworld. Okay, because of Eddie and Cryoblast.
We didn't list off Tsunami as a way to kill this card. We listed off Tsunami as one of the cards that you can declare with this effect to ensure that you get a good counter room.
Yeah, Tsunami is just like saying an instance to like abuse the low defense, while like Cryoblast and Eddie
like Tsunami beats a lot of stuff. Like most stuff dies to Tsunami into a good body.
Yeah, unless you're 5 water.
Yeah, Cryoblast is honestly the biggest concern because like Eddie, Tsunami, all that sort of stuff, you have the opportunity to protect it with counter runes. It's when Cryoblast is the actual big concern because you don't have any opportunity to stop that from happening unless you have your defense high enough that won't happen.
Yeah. Plus, I can very much see this Cryoblast becoming like the norm for a removal card in the sides and in the main deck now. Because it is a lot of cards are very susceptible to it. Even like the new set were like
a lot of the best stuff that was Cryoblast immune got limited. Like Echolinks was a big one that was Cryoblast deterrent.
Yeah, because there's a 3 defense or whatever.
Yeah. And now that's at 1, so people aren't really playing it. People aren't really playing Earth in general as much. So Mudlet sees less play, which was another card that didn't die to Cryoblast.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that actually, Joshua. Yeah, no, you make some good points though, Josh. Yeah. We just wanted to like give more context to like some of like our reasoning behind it, versus it just being like a hater reason of just like, oh, it just dies to a card.
Yeah. To be clear, Joshua, if this card is good, it is because it is effectively a 1-drop. It is because like you can play it in like Solar and like Apollo just gives you the condition for free, or you play it in Lunar Phase and you just declare Lunar Phase and you don't need to set up anything and you just always get it off. Like it is in that way, it is effectively a Cryovern that has an actually useful effect on the Ascension.
I just wish, though, that all these win cards were win cards.
Yeah!
That's my real wish.
Okay. This is another reprint, but let's talk about this guy real quick. Actually, I did run into this guy in my Swiss rounds. I think my round 1 opponent was on this card. I was shocked. Anyways, okay, carry on.
Yeah, let's carry on. Yeah, when this carry-on is destroyed in battle, you can target the Celestial that is destroyed. That destroyed it. Then take control of that Celestial, move it to your Celestial row until the end phase. This is a funny card. This is a little funny card. I like this.
Yeah.
3/3 is like alright, and the nice in between. I mean, funny enough, you could probably I feel like in some weird scenarios, are you not able to just like technically crash something, and then what? Oh, the vessel that destroyed it, though. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could do some really funny things where Carry-On could actually just run into something to just nuke itself, and then what you could do is you could take you could take that Celestial and then put it in the Rune row, right?
No, it's on your side of the field.
Oh, so you own it, right?
Yeah. Until the end phase.
Okay, and you can then are you gonna attack with it still? I can.
Yes.
Yeah, so
if it's during your turn, yes.
Okay, 6. So yeah, then we'll attack with it, and then we're gonna activate our Gorgons, and then remove it off of the card. Nobody wins. We all lose. Good day.
That is in fact the ideal scenario, Duelist. You have identified the ideal scenario.
It's just a funny scenario, but it's not. But keep in mind, you may have. Okay, hear me out, guys. You may have lost 2 cards for his 1, but you know it's sending a message. And Carry On is looking to carry on.
All right. Let's look at his ascension. Carry Off.
Okay. Whoa, that's a cool looking card.
Yeah, this guy's on Dense Fog.
Yo. Okay. All right. So he when your Carry On is destroyed in battle, you can special cast this. Okay, I take it back. We're going 2 for 2 now, boys. You can special cast this Carry Off of your hand. You can expend 2 Lunars in order to target an opponent's Celestial and take control. Never mind. There are 3 cards and our 2 cards now. If they have more cards than us, it's now a 3 difference. Okay, so 5-3. Okay, thank God. Yeah. No Cryoblast. Let's go.
No Cryoblast.
5's a little low for a 2 cost, but it's fine. It still does things to 5s to some degree. You can just kill, just bomb out. Just bomb out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Or just play a stadium. Problem solved. Yeah, I think this is a fun card. Carry On and Carry Off are just like these fun little you could set up some really interesting plays, and also in some ways that you can also just kind of dissect your opponent's board. Actually,
I will steal your card during the main phase, and now I will cast Ambrosia using the spirit on your card.
Exactly right. And then you just look at them and they go, "Wait, I thought I was supposed to play the game." I'm like, "No, Ambrosia was healing me 3."
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, yeah, I like this. It seems like a fun card, and the fact its line is not too bad either.
All right, final wind card, and the final lift. This is Aviolith.
All right, I'm gonna.
Let's talk about that stat line.
An open mind. Okay, we'll look at the stat line after.
Let's talk about the stat line.
Okay, A-Drive. I know it's supposed to equal 10, man, but come on, man. 4-6. Okay, the worst part is you actually put it on wind of all of the freaking lists. The allegations of wind having the worst statting is just never gonna stop. It's just so unfortunate to be a wind duelist right now. Okay, so this Aviolith can be normal cast with 2 winds if an opponent has at least 2 face down runes. Oh no, this is gonna trigger Train's trigger. This is terrible because it's 2 back row. Yeah, when you cast this Aviolith, you can draw a card for each face down rune on an opponent's. Oh no.
They released this in the same set as Hurricane!
In the same set as Hurricane. And in the same timeline where you're gonna cast the fastest Gorgon's Gaze in your life.
Yeah!
Against 5 meta. Oh.
This card is so funny. I can't believe they printed this card as the wind lift.
I'm sorry, Wind Gamers. We'll get them next set.
Alright. Frost!
Alright, okay, Snowlet. Let's see. Alright. When this Snowlet receives 1 or more IDU, I love IDU.
It's Frost. It's 1 or more Frost.
You can send the top 3 cards from your deck, Moralith Gaming. I was gonna say. From your deck to your underworld. So that is just some more Moralith Gaming.
4 attack! It's a Frost 1 cost with 4 attack!
Yeah.
Pog!
Yeah, it looks like finally Joel got his wish list was a 4 attacker that doesn't have to special ascend. So he did it. It only took the 70 DMs to A-Drive to finally get 4 attack. Yeah, overall, yeah, I think it's a cool card, especially for the Moralith strategy that people have been doing.
Yeah.
It just sets up more things in the drop, with the underworld. And like I said, 4-2 is a yes.
Yes.
And also, fun fact, funny enough, this has been the trend the whole video so far, the live stream. But it can't be Cryoblast.
It can't be Cryoblasted! It's actually a Frost card where the Cryoblast immunity matters.
Yeah.
For most Frost cards, yeah, they have the Cryoblast immunity, but for most of the ones that you actually play, it's okay, but this doesn't have 2 or less defense anyways. It doesn't die to Cryoblast solo.
Yeah. Okay, let's see the secondary form. Alright, Astral. Alright. When this Astral is sent from your deck to the underworld, you can special send. What is with you and your like Frost having a trillion special sends? Anyways, yeah, from your you can special send your Snowlet to it. You can expend a Frost in order to send the top 4 cards of your deck to the underworld. Okay. 7-4, so we're just like, we're gonna get rebuffed. 4 defense is a little low though. But
4 defense is fine. This is the same stat line as Cryoburn.
Yeah, of course. Like, I like it, honestly. Yeah, honestly, it's another special send. Astral is a good beater. The Morlith strategy just keeps winning, which is...
Yeah. Morlith decks don't really play this card right now, but you'll definitely see playing this archetype.
Yeah.
Frost has a rune from set 2 called Avalanche,
Yeah.
where you mill each player for 3, but if you have a Frost Enchanted Celestial on your field, you mill yourself for 5.
True.
So like you can go like Snowlet, mill 3, cast that, and mill 5. So you can check the top 8 for your Ashbrow and attempt it for the special ascend.
That's true, yeah. Honestly, like, overall, this is like a bad line. Not to mention the fact that, yeah, Snowlet is a very nice beater.
Yeah.
With a good effect. I like this, yeah. Very solid. 2 cards so far for Frost, you know, they need them. They desperately need them. Alright, Blizzstrix. This is the 3rd form, I believe.
Yeah.
So when this Blizzstrix is sent from your deck to the underworld, you can special send your Asprowl to it. You can return 3 Elestrals from your underworld to the bottom of your deck in order to destroy a card. Okay, so that is, once again, with all this milling, you're bound to have Elestrals in your underworld to resolve that pop.
Also, this does not target.
Yeah, that is also important. So your opponent is going to have to respond, but he won't know which card.
But also, it means it kills Chronodile and Volt Tempest.
Exactly. So those towers can't beat the power of Blizzstrix.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, I think you'd also just beat... What is Chronodile's stat line again? It's
8-14. So if it's in defense, you can't beat over it.
Unless we have a stadium, boys. Never mind, we're matching. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like this card. I think, stat line's obviously good enough, like 12-6. The effect is pretty good for the special ascend. The non-targeted pop is... Oh, wait, is that not... Oh, wow, okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's just you can, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no deck out games, boys. We're not going to deck out anymore.
Yeah, we're not decking out.
To be honest, though, I don't know. I think Elestrals going to deck out is very hard, actually.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Like, even in games with the Morlith deck where I've resolved, like, 3 Morliths, I haven't gotten to the deck out point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the only thing that's concerning is you milling out, like, actually key cards, like Ambrosia and stuff, for longevity of your game.
The way people are drafting this deck right now is they're running Rise from the Ashes. So, if you mill Blizzstrix when you don't have Ashbrow on the board, you can just Rise from the Ashes it back to the board.
Yeah.
And there's this huge body that clears something immediately. It's just a big threat.
Exactly, right?
And you just flood the board with big bodies and overwhelm your opponent.
Yeah. And not to mention, like, yeah, you can use the Gorgons to stop it, but now you still got to factor in that that's still a big beater that's just going to be for the next turn.
Yeah.
Shield will cost you a lot, too, to get rid of it. Yeah, no, I can see the potential.
Assuming the shield doesn't get popped by the effect, because that's just target a card.
Whoa, that's your first mistake. I bluff said Cryoblast, so you'd hit that. They never see it coming.
No, you do it all the time. Every time you set 4, I go, okay, at least one of these is a bluff. 9 times out of 10, one of those is a bluff.
Actually, in some of the games in my Swiss and top 8, they were actually just 4 actual cards.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you do that.
You're right. True.
Okay. And then the last Frost card is a new Morfrost.
Okay, another Morfrost. Okay. Ooh, Scorpio form. Cool. Okay, when you cast this Morfrost, you can discard a Morfrost in order to target an opponent's Celestial and set it to defense base 0 until the end phase. During this turn's end phase, you can expend 2 Frost in order to destroy that Celestial. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, with the fact that you can just set it to 0 and then during this turn's end phase, you can expend... Okay, yeah, honestly, actually, I like this card. Yeah, because, like, if there's just a really big threat, you can just... Wow, I just realized this also makes it Cryoblast nukeable, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, this card's good, actually.
Yeah.
I like this card a lot, yeah. This is definitely a good addition.
Also of relevance, especially for later, with another rune that we'll be talking about later, there's a Morfrost from Daybreak that that when it's discarded, you can special cast a Morphrost from your underworld.
Yeah.
So you can. There is actually a counter rune that you can use to get this out on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like this card a lot. No, this seems like a very good addition to the Morphrost gaming. And just actually not even just generally. It seems like a good card.
All right, solar time.
Solar, that's called trash. Okay, Cockray. This Cockray cannot be suppressed. Okay. When you activate First Light, you can special send this Cockray to Draco Ray from your hand or deck.
So First Light is the rune I was talking about earlier with Windjin.
Yeah.
That it costs 1 solar, and you search your deck for a solar Celestial, shuffle your deck, and then put it on top.
Yeah.
That's also why this is when you activate instead of when you cast. This actually activates on the same chain as First Light and resolves before First Light.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would shuffle your deck after doing First Light and you would no longer have the card you sit on top.
I see what you mean. Yeah, honestly, I also like that stat line's good. Just the Elo Chick stat line, all reliable. Like, yeah, I can get Cryo Blasted, but still 4-1. And then also cannot be suppressed.
Well, ideally, it's not going to still be a Cockray by the time your opponent's turn comes around.
Yeah, ideally. But in the scenarios where you just need to misenchant a beater, that one's a good beater.
Yep.
Yeah, so honestly, overall, I like this card. Let's see the next...
Also, crashes into Specterus.
True, because Specterus can't suppress it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What causes that?
I think it's because you were letting it hover for too long, man. Alright, let's see. Draco Ray.
Okay. Draco Ray.
Okay, I thought I was going to have a low defense because of the fact that it was 4-1 to begin with. Okay. So, when you cast this Draco Ray, you can return up to 3 solars from your underworld to your spear deck. Quackly. Is this God form Quackle? Okay. Alright, during your draw phase, you can expend a fire in order to special send this Draco Ray to Dragolis? Yeah. From your deck. I like this card a lot, actually.
Yeah. I like this card a lot. Yeah. I think this is one of the best cards in the set.
Yeah, Draco Ray is nice. Like, being able to heal 3 on cast, and then just having the ability to, like, expend a fire to just special send into another form. Wait, this is during your draw phase? Okay, so, like, on the next turn, so you keep it alive, like a phoenix. Okay, I get it now. Right.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about this card is because this is, in fact, is on cast and not on ascend. You can do stuff like cast Rise from the Ashes, revive it, and immediately refund Rise's entire cost.
That's nice. And it's a good beater number stat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. It doesn't die.
I think this card is super good. I think it's one of the best cards in the set.
Alright, let's see Dragalis. Alright, so Dragalis, you can expend a fire in order to suppress each face-up card on an opponent's field. Okay, alright. Until the end phase. Then enchant a solar from your spear deck and or underworld to this Dragalis up to the number of cards suppressed. Holy moly, that's either like a lot of damage or it's still just a lot of things.
Yeah.
I like that it says also underworld, so it doesn't... If you're in like the late game and you manage to get Dragalis
exactly.
You still can get the value from it. 13-5... Them fives.
Them fives.
Yeah, 13 is a really good stat. Overall this card seems really good. The Draco Ray seems really good. I like that it's like healing built onto a 2 cost. Basically, like the Rise from the Ashes play you can do. It's not immediately susceptible to an easy removal, and then you can just naturally just try to protect it. I think this is a good addition for Solar.
Like, Dragalis was revealed before we saw Draco Ray, and I was pretty middling on the card back then, but because of how easy you can get into it with Draco Ray, I think this card turns out really good.
Yeah, I definitely see potential in this card for sure, especially like the line in general. Very good.
Yeah, I think this is a really good Ascension 9. Alright, Armadon!
Alright, when this Armadon changes positions to an opponent... changes position, an opponent must expend... It's simple, guys. We just have to have 4 Armadons. Activate Tsunami, burn for 4. It's that simple, guys. That's how you win the game. Also,
no. You go play it in defense. Your opponent eddies it into attack. You Tsunami it back to defense. Burn them for 2.
It's cooked. 6 defense is hilarious, actually, too, because it's actually so annoying to do. I actually think this card's really good, actually. Like, because of the fact that you can just plop it down, and it makes them answer, and it's like Okay, so you answered it and you still take 1. Or if you have the tsunami, you can just like go in for 1, defense mode it, burn for 1, and then they use Eddie to deal with it, burn for another. Yeah, that's just funny. Oh my god, and then alter plays. Yeah, I like this card because just to the 6 defense, like the 1 attack obviously sucks, but the 6 defense is just so beefy.
Yeah.
Like you thought 5 defense Astro Rabbit was annoying. Wait till you have to deal with 6 defense Armadon that burns. Oh my god.
All right, Ascension Gardon.
Okay, so your Lestrals get +2 defense. Oh, we never stop defending, boys. When an opponent activates an effect that targets 1 or more of your runes, you can expend 2 solar in order to negate that effect. Hey, Thunderstorm. Hey, I'm just saying. See you later. Hurricane also targets face down, right? Specifically.
No, Hurricane does not target.
Oh,
it's
boy.
AoE.
Oh boy. Well, we're sad gamers. It looks like we're just gonna be. Okay, so like, I don't like that it has 3 attack though. And like I said, I like the Armadon Burn Gaming, and I'm like, now I don't have the Armadon Burn Gaming. I just have now like the 3-8 guy.
This weird big guy.
Yeah, who doesn't stop the Hurricane that's gonna be played in this format coming up. So he's just gonna stand there. I'd rather be Armadon Gaming.
It's just gonna stand there as a Hurricane blows behind him.
Yeah, and then go, where's everyone? And then Eddie's gonna be like, sup. And then you go to attack position and you go, oh, I guess I just lose. Yeah, I don't really like this card, honestly. I'm being a bit more like with some criticism. It just seems like there's too many scenarios that it will just kind of like, it just feels too underwhelming.
Yeah. Luxomare.
Alright, so when an opponent takes control of this Luxomare, you can special cast that's weird.
There's a rune in this set that gives your opponent control of Luxomare.
Okay. And then you can basically just what? You can special summon, special cast an Arrow.
Aylesdale.
Aylesdale, okay.
Let's talk about that guy.
Also, Aylesdale's, Luxomare stats were also good. I like those.
Yeah, 4/5. Yeah. It's the highest stat total on any 1 cost. I shared with Arrowmare? Is that what it's called? A wind card. It's a wind card. Its effect doesn't matter.
All I gotta say, the stat lining, I get it, A-Drive. It's your favorite, bro. I did the time. Alright, let's see. When you cast Aylesdale, you can foretell 3. You may special cast a 1 cost Spirit Lunar Celestial. No, Solar Celestial foretold this way. Yeah, I mean, also 6. Oh my god. Oh, that's an annoying line, actually. Yeah, I think being able to foretell 3, your first form being a very nicely statted card means it's probably going to be able to stick in some ways. And there's a card that allows you to just give control to do a play, and then give you back the card. So I mean, overall, yeah, I like this card. I think it's neat.
So my opinion is that Luxomare is ass. This card sucks ass. This card's awful. This whole play line sucks because your opponent just goes, okay, I will pay the spirit off the Lustral you gave me. But Aylesdale as an individual card, I think is really solid. I think it's just like a normal Ascend. This is one of the better ones around because it's just, look at top 3 and like you've already probably foretold with Apollo to set that up and just go, okay, just get a free guy from my top 3.
Now hear me out though. If technically if we're just 5 gaming, Luxomare with Galaxy with a misenchanted Luxomare is a 5er gamer.
Yeah.
With 4 defense. I'm just saying, maybe this. I'm looking at the stats right now. I'm thinking, man, I only count to 5 with this guy.
All right. That's all the Lustrals. Let's get into the runes. So starting off with Artemis.
Okay, so we got all the divine runes. All right, when you cast this Artemis, you can enchant to 3 lunars to it. You can disenchant a lunar from this Artemis in order to target an opponent's face-up card and suppress it until that opponent's next end phase. I like it. I think built-in suppression is pretty good.
Yeah, the ability to turn off like Zeus and Demeter is really nice. Yeah,
exactly. Right, that's pretty important considering like those will be running around. Let's be very honest, guys. They will be running around. Overall good art too. I like Artemis's art. I like this card. I like the overall just a solid card.
Alright, Artifact. Both Artemis.
Let's see. The Empowered Celestial deals piercing damage. Okay. When the Empowered Celestial declares an attack, you can nexus a lunar from your Artemis to the Empowered Celestial. Okay, so my only concern is for an artifact, it doesn't give me any stat
Yeah.
increases. And I'm like, not even +1? You couldn't even give me one more stat to try to beat over something? Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of this. Like, yeah, it's sure piercing damage, but what if I actually just can't beat over the defending guy?
Yeah.
Which it can be very realistic. Like, 5 defense is a problem. Like, Astro Rabbit. And like, sure, yeah, you suppress it, but like, if the effect results, it's not bad. I think it's kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this. I wouldn't really dedicate slot space to it. Ah, yes, lunar phases time.
Let's talk about the lunar phases. So starting off with new moon.
All right, so we can target an celestial in the field and suppress it. Good. Until the end phase. Yep. You may expend lunar equal to the targeted cost enchantment cost and discard a lunar phase if you do destroy it. Like, yeah, it is a higher costed earthquake. However, you do benefit from getting lunar phases into your drop zone, and the fact that it's still
Drop zone, Vanguard, buddy fight player spot.
Underworld. I can call it whatever I want. But yeah, basically, like, honestly, that's still fine though, because in my opinion, just having access to built-in like deck type removal like that, like with the lunar phase, it in my opinion is good. I think it also helps like further the game plan of getting the lunar phases into your drop.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good card. Yeah.
Okay. Waxing Crescent.
Okay, so you can target a
This is a counter rune.
Oh boy, target a lunar enchanted celestial and give it +1 power till the end phase for each lunar phase in all underworlds. Dude, I feel like the lunar phase mirror match is the worst thing imaginable. Like, I would never want.
I think this is the only one that cares about lunar phases in both underworlds.
Yeah, but I mean, you probably play because it's just a buffer card, and
yeah, I think this is a really good combat trick.
Yeah, it's like bears all over again.
Yeah, except this isn't actually limited to the battle phase. So like, if you have like background removal, you can actually chain this one, unlike Don't Poke the Bears.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Overall, yeah, this card's also good. Yeah, just buffs things up. Another lunar phase. Like, in some scenarios, you just need ways to be able to beat over, and it can provide that by just naturally you playing the strategy of your deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this card. Alright, first quarter. Draw a card. And then you may discard a lunar phase to return a Voldusk, Volumbra, or Volclipse from your underworld to your hand. Also another good lunar phase in my opinion. Like, it just simply draws you a card, and then lets you get a creature by discarding a lunar phase that you may not need. And sometimes you just need creatures.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like as crazy as the other two, but like I said, it still has its benefits, right?
All right, Waxing Gibbous.
All right, target a lunar enchant celestial and change its position. You may expend a lunar and discard a lunar phase. If you do, the target celestial cannot be destroyed by card effects once this turn. That's good. Mm-hmm. Because I'm also pretty certain you can chain that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, I just realized if they PTA it, you can actually you can protect it, right, from the expend to destroy it.
Yeah, because the destruction won't happen until the end phase.
That's crazy. No, okay, this card's fun. I think this is a good little like trick that you can basically just force your opponent in a scenario where like, no, I don't want to lose this card.
Yeah. And
I'd rather just keep it, and then.
I think the biggest problem with this card is that both of this effect is mandatory.
Yeah, and change position. Yeah.
Because if you're using it, like this doesn't really matter so much if you're defending a 2 cost or a 3 cost, but on a 1 cost, one of its stats is going to be significantly lower, and that's probably not the position that you put in by default. So you're forced to switch it to the suboptimal position before you can protect it from the removal.
Yeah, I mean, in some scenarios too, you can also still have like maybe just decent enough stats potentially.
Yeah.
To still beat over the thing that got, even if it got PTA'd, and then just flip it over and then just like change it into its more defensive position.
That kind of scenario is pretty ideal. Yeah.
Yeah, there are like I see some like lines this card creates, which is what's nice. I like to see cards that do that.
Okay, full moon.
Alrighty, enchant up to 2 lunar is 2 celestial in your field.
So that means it comes from the spirit deck.
Yeah, okay. I assume so. That'd be kind of broken if it's just like, oh, here's 2. On your field, when this lunar phase is discarded by another lunar phase, you can foretell 3. I think this card's pretty good. However, I'd probably play like a lower amount of it because personally, my problem with Full Moon maybe is just, I don't know. I think this is effectively going to cost you three spirits, right? And it'd be really awkward when the play you want to go for, and they go Gorgons, and then they go and remove it finally, and then you're like, oh, I just kind of stood there and did nothing. However, the Foretell 3 though is pretty useful because it lets you kind of decide what your next draw is going to be or which lunar phases you may need potentially.
Yeah.
You know, just set you up for some plays. I definitely think this is an okay card.
One thing I like about this card is it's actually one of the reasons why I like Porky Wraith a lot, because you can, as a combat trick, put 2 more lunars onto it, and now it's giving -6 to whatever it says attacking into it.
True.
And whatever that is dying.
Porky Wraith Gaming, man. Porky Wraith Gaming.
Okay. Waning Gibbous.
Okay, let's see. So, shuffle Lunar Phase, Volumbra, or Volclips from your hand or Underworld into your deck in order to search your deck for Voldusk and add it to your hand. Alright, so I'm going to let you know right now, yeah, this card is good because I played against the proxy version, and this card gets really annoying.
Yeah!
Because you start just... They just start invoking, and they just start putting stuff back, and then they just start, like... just never stop cycling. They never
stop cycling.
Yeah, this card's good. The recursion is nice.
Final quarter.
So you can search your deck for up to 2 lunar phases and send them to your underworld. When this lunar phase is discarded by another lunar phase, you can return a lunar from your underworld to your spirit deck. This card's crazy. This card's crazy card. I don't have to say anything else. It immediately sets up 2, and then the fact that if it's discarded by another lunar phase, and you've got lunar phases that obviously are good that do that discard effect, and that it will also heal you one. Effectively making this card, or whatever lunar phase you potentially may played, cheaper or free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I like setup.
I do think this card has a bit of a struggle in that, like, if you're not on specifically a Volclips version, this effect isn't, like, useful at all.
Of course.
Yeah.
But if we're Volclips gaming, like...
If we're Volclips gaming, if we're simply believing in Volclips resolving, then we can't be beat. Exactly.
Alright, Waning Crescent. Return up to 2 lunar spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck. Healing is good. When this lunar phase is discarded by another lunar phase, you can draw a card, then discard a card. That's also just good. It's just, I like to heal, and I also like to just draw and just cycle my hand out and make it better. And then you can also discard a lunar phase off of this. And then go, oh, I'm going to do another play now. I'm like, yeah, very good lunar phase.
Alright, Temple of the Moon. It's just basic stadium.
I'll say the art looks good though. That's what I'll give it.
Yeah, they made a map with this art.
Yeah, that's a good art. That's a review of the Temple of the Moon.
Alright, Divine Healing.
Okay, so I can enchant to 3 Omnis from your underworld to a Divine Rune on your field. You know, Zeus Gaming is eternal. You know, and it has Poseidon, right? No, it's Poseidon on there.
No, that's Zeus.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Poseidon.
Pretty sure that's Zeus, man.
I feel he's holding a trident. No, that's probably Zeus, actually.
The Poseidon in this game is black.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot, yeah. It's Nessa's friend, basically. Yeah, no, honestly, like, yeah, I think this card is funny. Like, honestly, like, just be able to refill out, like, because then there's going to be more Nexus strategies being added, potentially. You could just fill up, like, your Divine Runes and just end up trying to go for, you know, having more longevity and more grinding in your games. Would I play any, like, a high amount of this or anything? No. Maybe, like, a fun little one-up I could just drop and then just... I don't know.
So the way I see this card is it's basically just, like, extra slightly worse Ambrosias for Divine Rune decks. That's, like, if I have extra slots, I just slot this in.
Exactly. I do like that it's Omni, though. Like, so you're not locked to, like, one...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you can do some funny, like, things with altar gaming, you know?
Spoiled Fruit.
Okay. Alright. This Spoiled Fruit can only be cast when an opponent activates a card effect that returns 1 or more spirits from their underworld to their spirit deck. Are you dare saying that Crackle could get punished? Negate that effect and destroy that card. Oh my god. Okay, so hear me out. No, I think this card's really good, actually.
Yeah.
For only one reason is if you're going into your game 3, you know. Yeah.
Would you like to win in time, duelist? No.
Yeah.
You will not.
Because then they lose the body, and then
Yeah.
you get a body. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Pandora's Box felt underwhelming in my deck profile. Maybe I was spoiled for.
So the biggest struggle for Voldusk, I think, is this card works on Voldusk because you haven't made your choice yet, so it is considered an effect that is either drawing or recovering a spirit.
Yeah.
There's a card from Frostfall, which is this exact same card, but it triggers 4 card effects that draw a card. So, if Voldusk ever becomes, like, big meta, there are 6 cards that hard hose that entire deck that people can just side in.
Also, I'm just saying, you can actually really punish Draco Ray.
Yes. Yeah, that is definitely.
Yeah,
yes.
it's not the main thing, but imagine if Draco Ray does become better.
Yeah.
You can side it in, and then they go for Draco Ray.
I don't like you presenting that piece of information. I don't appreciate you giving me that reality check.
Yeah,
I
that's
like that
spoiled
part
fruit.
about it.
One cost spoiled fruit will not only negate the effect and destroy him. That's
Oh
pretty good.
man, that sucks. Don't do that. No, I'm just a little guy. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Yeah. Oh, okay, what is this?
This is no stone unturned.
Yeah, so this is like what? It's I think for a barrel astral, I think. Or
No, this is for golems.
Yeah, golem.
This
Bears are also golems, though, right?
No.
Okay, no, yeah. So yeah, no, this card's casters have been talking about it. A Drive, everyone's been talking about this card. It's very good because realistically, you've got already very good like splashable lists.
Let's talk about the golems. Let's pull up the golem list. The list of the golems. The golem list. Alright, here, yeah, this is all the golems.
Yeah, so like I can only tell you 2 that are already insane, which is your Arcolith and your Lavalith.
Yeah, we've got the lifts. We've also got Tectorus, which is +1 attack for each enchanting earth on your field. We've got Rumbagem. We've got Monstation.
Yeah. Morlith.
We have all 3 cards from the Eruption package.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this card's very good. I don't even have to like say much about it, but it's just it has a lot of good targets, and it also has the definite potential to just be splashed into a lot of decks.
Yeah. I think the one concern with it is that it is pretty expensive, but like it does just represent more guys.
Of course. It represents a threat of a guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like just an average guy, it's more of the time going to be like things that can be a strong answer, especially the fact that like Arcolith, Lavalith, you know, it's just those guys are strong when they enter the board.
Also, one way you can potentially like flip this into like that cost into being a benefit is Verdolith can be normal cast if you're 4 spirits down on your opponent.
Yeah.
So you can search Verdolith and be able to immediately normal cast and recover 4.
Exactly. Which in like later game in the scenario when like that no stone on turn actually benefits you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think it's a cool card. I like it a lot. Oh boy, High Tide.
Alright, Tsunami High Tide.
Alright, a 2 cost.
So this is Water Lunar, so it can be searched by Snark.
True. So you can change the position up to 2 Elastrals, and then you may enchant a Lunar or Water from your Underworld to your field.
Now, very important to note, this screwed up a lot of people early on. This is an invoke. This is not a counter.
Not a counter, yeah. Okay, so that changes a lot then. I'm glad you mentioned it. I had to look again to make sure it was...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so... I mean, if you're like... What was that one card? The shark dude? The Snark's second form.
Joblin.
Yeah, Joblin would be like, yo, this is cool. This is sick.
It only gets 1 draw from this. It does not get 2 draws.
Yeah, but still, it's like
Yeah.
controlling and giving another... It's basically a defensive and offensive, like, tsunami...
Mm-hmm.
Like, which gives you... Both nets you draws.
Yeah. Effectively, it only actually costs you 1, too, because you're going to re-enchant 1, and you can use that for some other invoker counter rune.
I just think, really, right now, it's a bit too early. Like, I think this card has potential further down the line, maybe.
I think this card has very high potential as a 1-up that you search with Snark.
Of course, yeah, Snark and Surgery.
Because you can basically just turn Snark into an Eddy.
Yeah, with, like, Rock and Hard plays, yeah. You know, I see you mean. Yeah, no, overall, I think it's got a good effect on it. It's just, for me, it's, yeah, it being an invoke's a little weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah, right now, I'd say it's a nice card to add into, like, the South Bow. something that you should probably pick up a bit earlier in case, even if you don't plan. Yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about Vanguard style cards going to $50 because you didn't buy it on release.
What do you mean? I'm gonna buy out every single no stone unturned and then flip them for $6 specifically.
All right, magnetic force field.
All right. Oh wait, it's just it's Magnus again.
Yeah. Magnus can't get this card, by the way. It's a counter rune.
Oh, even worse. This magnetic force field can only be cast when an opponent activates a non-counter effect that causes you to expend spirits. No, my Toxion. Negate that effect and the opponent must expend 2. So I don't... Okay, this feels like Pandora's Box all over again. Yeah, I don't really like the fact that... Can we not stop it from attacking the card?
Yeah.
Because now I'm still just going to be essentially... Like, yeah, I burned them for 2. It would be really funny. So, fun fact, if this card existed, maybe Trish could have beaten me, actually. Because he could have, in theory, had on one of the Toxions flipped Magnetic Force Field to stop it, forcing me to expend 2 Omnis, and maybe Spirit count me out, and then I would have lost.
Okay, but do you think this is a card that Trish would have been running?
No. I don't think anyone's going to be running it right
Yeah.
now. I think it's just way too...
I think the only scenario where you entertain this card is if you're worried about Eruption.
I think so.
Because looking at Eruption and going, no, I do not burn 3, you burn 2.
Exactly.
Is pretty good. Because there's no guy on the field that you need to worry about this not clearing.
Yeah, but what I actually want to add, and just because I saw Spoiler Fruits too, I do like Spoiler Fruits and Magnetic Force Field's inclusions into the set because it does create more sideboard opportunities.
Yeah.
When formats will start like becoming either more burn / heal.
Yeah.
Which I like that. That's good future-proofing design right there.
Hurricane! Hey, look, there's Speed Gust.
Yeah. Wondering why he didn't get another good card. Yeah, yeah, I don't have much to say with this card other than the fact that it's going to be very defining and add a lot more to people having to play a different way in going into Moonrise format. You're going to see people playing a bit more like objectively safer with their sets, while also some people are just going to decide whether or not to fear. It's the whole like Gloombat thing. I'm not afraid of Gloombat, so not being afraid of the Hurricane, just believing they don't have it. It is very important that it is face down runes, though. So keep in mind, divines are still going to be quite a prevalent thing, but just a divine being on the board versus the 2 back rows, which could be literally anything. Yeah, I think it's overall a good card. It forces now players to think a bit more than just slamming all the back rows down.
What is your opinion on an opinion that's gone around a lot? Is that Hurricane is not actually going to be a very good card to play because people will just only set 1, and a lot of people feel that paying 3 to just get rid of 1 back row isn't worth it.
So my thing with it is, at that point, it's forcing your opponent the fear of the card, right? And at that same time, if they're only setting 1 is manageable because that means it's just one for one cards you're playing, which, for example, I'm saying you're playing your 1 Celestial, right? You don't have to play the Hurricane that's in your hand. There's nothing that's telling you.
But would you still feel comfortable playing this card if everyone is only setting 1 anyways? Like having this card in your deck as a potential dead draw?
I'd be fine with it considering I'm the one who played the 1 Thunderstorm.
Yeah.
I'll look at the 1 Hurricane and see if I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing is you gotta be like, if your deck doesn't have much healing, this is my problem I have with it is like Thunderstorm, and that's a 2 cost. It can be expensive.
Yeah.
And my main concern is like you gotta look at like sometimes, you removed. So when I use Thunderstorm and I hit a blind set, and it's just like a PTA or it's like something like will stop me, but at the same time I'm still expending 2. And now I'm going to be technically behind for that 1 card, right? Well, that PTA they use costs them more. It really depends. I think this card is interesting, and I always think it will have like a place in like going forward into every Lestrals format, and always be talked about. It will never stop being talked about, I think, until like you start really just having more like face up runes. I don't know, like.
So my opinion tends to fall on, I think this card will be good regardless. I think, so like for low to the ground decks, it might be more of a consideration. And you might go more, okay, I'm just going to run Thunderstorm because they're just going to set 1. And it does make Thunderstorm better in a lot of ways too. But I think for any deck that has like an explosive turn, paying 3 to remove your opponent's ability to interact is still just really good. That's still good enough.
Yeah, that is one that you're right. Because to be fair, there was a game I had where I literally just had the one Thunderstorm and hit a back row.
Yeah.
Then I played Arcolith and I guaranteed one.
Yeah, exactly. And you do that with like a deck like Rhino Sect, any of these special ascenders, forcing them through and getting in a bunch of damage. Like any deck that functions on that sort of basis, that has a really explosive turn that if they get through, or even in the good stuff stacks, forcing through a Viscerus. Looking at your opponent's one back row going, okay, I'm going to Hurricane this, then I'm going to drop down Viscerus, and force the Viscerus through, and now you're on you're really on the back foot.
Exactly.
So for that reason, I think this card is really good regardless of whether people are respecting it or not. And like, yes, if people are respecting it, Thunderstorm can do the same purpose. However, not everyone is going to respect it. Some people are not going to respect it out of like ignorance, or going, I'll be fine, they won't have it, or they'll be doing it from more of a meta call of, no, I don't think people will actually be playing Hurricane because of this thought process. Yeah. And like Hurricane being able to catch people who are both respecting it and not respecting it, all in one card is really valuable.
Yeah. I also wanted to say the fact that it's like, if there's now playing around it and you have the Hurricane in your hand, just set it.
Yeah.
Like, actually, if you just set it and then like, they use the Hurricane to get rid of your Hurricane that you set, just like you burn them for 3 then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you may have lost one good set.
Yeah.
But then you lost the Hurricane that essentially served the purpose of putting fear in your opponent.
I definitely think that like players knowing what the appropriate time to drop the Hurricane is going to be a big skill testing thing.
Exactly. And here's the thing, at its maximum value, it is an insane card.
Yeah. As for the spirits, like these spirits aren't hard to fit at all. Thunder and Water is in like every deck already, so you just fit in the one wind.
Exactly. You can slide in the wind if you need when you slide in the Hurricane. Who knows?
Yeah.
A lot of things.
Okay, Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, Aurora Borealis. Discard a card in order to enchant up to 1 Frost. Yeah, from your underworld to your field, and return up to Frost from your underworld to your spirit deck. Is that word really up to?
Yeah, it's basically up to 1 Frost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So discard a card in order to enchant. I mean, honestly, it's funny because if you actually misenchant to get around the tsunami on one of your islands, you can then, I guess. Yeah, actually, you can then chain the counter on the tsunami. I don't know. This card seems like kind of random a little bit.
This is the card I was talking about earlier that lets you proc Morfrost back, the one that on discard revives a Morfrost on your opponent's turn.
Okay. No, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, honestly, it's a neat card. It's not bad. It's just a very neat card.
I think one of this card's bigger problems is that Frost doesn't have like a bunch of like really good receive effects. If it had like a really powerful receive effect, this card would be a lot better. Because being able to proc that on, like if there was like a Mudlet, being able to proc a Mudlet on your opponent's turn while effectively healing one would be pretty good.
That's true. You Frost gamers get too much as it is. You have Cryoblast. That card is way too good.
Okay, Cunning Offer. This is the donation card for Luxomare.
Okay. Yes. All right. Until the end phase, an opponent gains control of a target Celestial in your field, and the Celestial gains the effect. When this Celestial is destroyed in battle, you must expend 3. So, like, I would have, hear me out, this is where I would have been kind of down for, is if it's a card kind of meant for a card, why would we not just give it when this, like, also that Celestial cannot, like, disenchant things off it, or your opponent cannot, like, yeah, the burn 3 is cool, but your opponent will just respond and pay stuff off of it.
Yeah, exactly. They're just going to use any counter rune to pay off whatever you gave them, and then you don't get this effect ever. This card sucks.
I think
this card is ass.
So I'm gonna now seeing what Cunning Offer does. I think if you played Luxomare with Cunning Offer, you deserve to lose, man.
Yeah,
that's so unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
If it's Luxomare as a beater, you're cool though.
Yeah. And the last rune of the set, this is Helios' Slumber.
Okay, so you can turn on Celestial in your world and put it on the top of your deck. This is the thing that you set up for to foretell cards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, it's 1 cost counter. Seems alright.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah.
Get back Elochick!
Yeah, Elochick forever. Whoa, get back. Okay, it's the last roll. I had to make sure reread the card to make sure it was only the last roll.
Get back Arcolith.
That's true. That is important. Getting back Argolith would be very nice.
Yeah,
actually.
and Novelith. Yeah. Okay. Now before we close out, we gotta do the art review. We've got to do the art review. Okay. Let's go through the full arts. Let's go through the full arts.
These will be a bit more faster than just the.
Okay. These are the box topper full arts. So this is the box topper Fulgurix.
Yep, Fulgurix looks good. I'm not gonna easily a good and solid art. I do like I said with full arts. What I want is it needs to be popping and eye catching, and that's what I want them to always do. Is the ability to just add more to the card that you already like, which is your preferred Celestial.
Yeah.
And then just make it even better.
We've got the box upper full art Postamoose.
Yeah, I love this art.
Yeah,
I
this is
love
really
this
sick.
art. This art is very good. This is probably one of my actually favorite.
This is the art they put on the Moonrise binder.
Yeah. I was seeing it. This is this is either my second or first favorite art. I have to look over it. We're gonna be looking over it right now, but I'm gonna
look who's on it. It's Silver Astrabbit.
The winner.
Okay, and this is box topper Volclips.
Okay, so honestly, I actually like. There's a third art of Volclips, isn't there?
Yes, there are two full arts of all three of these.
Yeah, I like the other one more. This one's kind of it's cute, but I like the other one because I like the idea of Volclips being more of a pronounced figure of kind of how Ninetales has that aura, you know?
Yeah. Where you can see all the tails.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Ninetales is very stoic.
Yeah. Okay. So here's Phasmacore. I'm actually gonna pull up another guy from
that art's real rad, by the way.
Daybreak, because it is actually another perspective of the same art. Daybreak. Here it is. Novacore. You can see Phasmacore right there.
Okay.
Is a different perspective on this same concept.
That's really cool. Right, I like that a lot. That's actually a very cool idea they went with. And then, both the arts for Phasmacore and Novacore are phenomenally good. Very eye-popping art. I actually this is the one time where I'm okay, the side profile looks nice.
Yeah.
Of Phasmacore.
This is Draking full art.
You Draking gamers, you see that ship right there? You're sick. You're cool. However, most Draking players are working on the
Galaxy Gaming.
The Galaxy and also the McDonald's value menu. So honestly, I don't see this card being pulled is by the people who want the high rarity. Now, just saying, guys, if you ever want a higher rarity, technically speaking, I have a.
Didn't you say you were gonna grade that?
I'm gonna get a graded Draking, which you can always just look at, or I'm just saying. Don't worry about it. In case you guys want to be the only person in the world with the coolest Draking in the world.
Okay. Full art and Titan.
That's a good art. I like that. He's the little.
Really sick.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's sick. That's a cool art.
Starbit Supernova.
That guy looks sick. He looks sick in the base art. Honestly, also I didn't notice. Now I noticed the mouth at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. That's a fun art.
Tornadian.
That art goes incredibly hard.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's an incredibly hard art.
And you have a guy summoning him out of the lamp.
It's just Jafar.
Yeah.
A-Drive had the rights to Disney all along. We never knew.
Carry off.
I like that it's him stealing Luminave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I like that because of the scythe. Dude, that poor Luminave will never financially recover from this. That's gonna be the face of people's wallets when they're trying to get the flowers of Moonrise.
Blistrix.
Oh, he has a little snowlet on him. He's all cute. I like that. That's good. I like the top view. Yeah, it looks good. I think it'll keep in mind. I think some of these will look even better when in person.
Yeah.
Because the hollowing, right?
Yeah.
But from just an art perspective, really good.
Artemis.
All I gotta say is it looks like Psylocke. It's a girl. It's gonna be $1,000. It's $1,000. Yeah, I know. Okay, that's my 10 out of 10.
All right, Ambrosia.
Oh, this is the chase of chases. I think for Moonrise.
Yeah.
People are gonna really want this. Not to mention, there's also the tournament pack Ambrosia, which is 10 copies.
That's 10 copies. Yeah, it's a color. It's a palette swap of this art.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm pretty sure Demeter eating some ambrosia fruit. Probably.
It might be.
And then there's a bear there. I hate those guys, but yeah, very good art. I think this is probably like generally a competitive max rarity player or like just casual players are gonna be wanting to get.
I really like this thing they've been doing in Daybreak in this set where they take like 3 of the staple runes and go, okay, we're gonna give it a full art reprint.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that set they did PTA, Gorgons, and what was the last one? PTA, Gorgons, and
wasn't it? No, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Nectar of the Gods.
Yeah, Nectar. Yeah.
Yeah, and this set they did Ambrosia, Tsunami, and Shield. So let's talk about Shield.
So I like the Shield art.
Yeah.
However, I don't like that it's him.
You don't like that, Gardon?
Yeah, Gardon. No, man. That guy.
You don't appreciate Gardon getting to be on the one good card?
Gardon deserves to be a no good card. Realistically, Shield of Achilles should have been something like Astro Rabbit, like holding with one paw. Peak art. It would have been peak art.
And then here is Tsunami.
Yeah, okay. So this one, I already got spoiled on this one because Joel showed me this way back.
Yeah.
No, sorry. This is probably my favorite, actually.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, this is my favorite art. Yeah, it's very cool.
Then we have the foil spirits. No, actually, I think these are the box toppers, and those ones up there are the normal full arts. Yeah. These ones down here are the box toppers, and these are the normal full arts.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's box topper Fulgurix.
Okay, so there's the box topper one. I actually would prefer that one, honestly, because I do like the alternate color palette, the moon in the back, and just like it looks really rad. It looks a lot like a Digimon actually in some ways.
These are actually the ones that will have X out of 10 color palette swapped stellar ones.
Okay.
They can be there in place of the box topper. Here's Posthumous.
That's really I like that color swap too.
This isn't really color swap. It's just like for a Fulgurix, it was just like it was in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah, different lighting.
No, both the full arts for Posthumous are good.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like they're both equal.
I love this full eclipse art.
Yeah.
It's
this
so
is my
good.
Favorite art, yeah.
It's so good. It looks so cool.
Yeah, this one's better because it's more stoic to what it's trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Not I say the other one's bad by any means. I prefer this because it's just more reminiscent of Ninetales in my eyes.
All right. Now we've got Reverse Stellars.
Oh boy.
So the Reverse Stellars are Voldusk plus every lunar phase.
Okay, so you lunar phase max Verdi enthusiast, best of luck.
So okay, we're not really going to talk about the lunar phases because those are palette swaps. They're not actually new arts.
Yeah.
So Voldusk new art.
It's just shiny. It's a shiny Eevee now.
Yeah, it's a shiny Eevee.
Shiny Eevee, or it's what is it? The spirit, wind spirit for It's the wind spirit basically.
Yeah, Licorice.
Yeah, it's like Licorice. I mean,
yeah.
Like little Licorice.
And then we've got the Star Deck reverse stellars. So we've got Havocub.
I don't mind that art. I kind of like the base art for Havocub a bit more, but
yeah.
It's not a bad art either. I like the little thing on it.
And Bandaloon.
Okay, so Torment Pack's my favorite, but this is like the second best one.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's like a night face. He's like
yeah.
He's basically better Morgana.
A few of the Serial Stellars have not been revealed because they like to keep that for set release.
It's super fun.
So here's Ardbud.
That's his best art. It's not a question. That's Ardbud's best art right there. That little dude he's gonna win. He's gonna get Viscerus, and his friend Viscerus is gonna do everything for him.
This is Villaby.
It's a good art, but like I said, I just think the card is so.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Starbit.
Peak. This man's peak. This guy's a real life Kamino. And he'll die like Kamino.
Carry On.
Yeah, I think that's a good art for Carry On. I actually like it more than the base art, and it's definitely like it's not like it's an interesting card. So I think it has a place to be somewhere.
Snowlet.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
It's peak.
It's peak.
Morphrost Scorpio.
It's kind of weird to turn green when it's like
all the Morphrosts turn green in their stellar, I believe.
It's just a little weird, It's because it makes him kind of look out of place now. But I get it. Like, he's a scorpion, so theoretically, he's supposed to look more like he's in from the sands. But yeah, he's near the frosts.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one. I prefer the original art though, like the color palette they went with there.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Gloombat.
That I like a lot.
Yeah.
That's very good. Better than
The red is very nice, and like the backing sky is really cool.
Exactly. I like that a lot. Very cool.
Toxiri.
Oh, it's just peak. It's just yeah, it's just good. No, that's very good. I like that art a lot. I like both the arts actually for Toxiri. Like they're both like equal to me, but yeah, they're both very good. That hollow would be goes pretty hard.
Yeah. Cryptoris.
Man, you know, I'm not gonna lie. If this was a different game, you'd have a certain set of like mothers going that this is a certain representation of something.
What?
Of dark magic.
Oh, okay. That's where we were going with
you
that.
see from like the head, just the eye symbol.
Yeah. You would get that with normal Cryptoris too.
Yeah, true. But this one, it goes really hard on the.
Yeah.
I don't want any Celestial cards at my school playground.
Carry off.
I like that. Okay, it's like a little mini Grim Reaper dude.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Nobby.
That guy's gonna try his very best.
He's gonna try so hard.
Yeah, I like that he's. Is it like a mask? Is that what the second head up there is supposed to be?
I don't know. I think it's like actually just a second head.
Yeah, I like to think it's just like a little like because he's like a little bug, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of insects like to have like fake appearances to just try to scare like predators off.
Yeah.
So maybe Nobby's like when you know what I mean? And then but when he special sends him to his next evolution, it actually turns into a living head. You know what I mean? That's why I think, because like, you look at Fulgorix, right? That's what I want to believe.
Yeah. I get what you're putting down. It's
a good art.
However, this art loses to the tournament pack Nobby art. Let's see if they have that up on Collect, because that art is so sick. Yes, they do. They do have Organized Play Series too. Or is it? Oh, this art is so sick. This art is so good.
Yeah, see, even like in this art, it kind of feels like that's the impression they're giving you, right?
Yeah,
it's like the bottom head is the real thing, but it's just the front head is supposed to be. I don't know. One of these days I'm gonna ask Adrian about this.
Okay. And Fondant.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the hero.
All right, and that's the set. All right, before we head off, would you like to what decks are you interested in exploring for Moonrise now that you've familiarized yourself with the Moonrise card pool?
Still lunar phase stuff I think is really cool. I also definitely like the idea of maybe looking more at what like that Night Venom's kind of like offering with Toxiri Night Venom.
Yeah.
Having some place in there. Honestly, Draco Ray Gaming seems pretty rad. And maybe like honestly for the Frost stuff, like I feel like I'll be playing against you to see how it goes.
Yeah, and you'll be playing against me to see how that goes.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? We're gonna see how that looks.
Yeah.
Those are my main three. It's like the lunar phases, the Draco Ray Gaming, Night Venom stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously like the Frost stuff, I'd say, is my main like takeoff. Like it doesn't feel like, unfortunately, Wind itself does a whole lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
And then also, oh, actually, you know what? Honestly, is maybe the potentiality of snarky stuff, Starbit gaming stuff. Actually.
Yeah.
Only just because like Joblin seems like a cool concept to work with. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good.
I feel like Joblin and Starbit are two different decks. I feel that it's pretty difficult to fit those both into the same
I'm saying
deck.
That's separate like identities.
Yeah.
Water seems to have gotten a couple cards in the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for Thunder though, unfortunately, it just seems like a lot of it is just stuff that would be like I'm probably gonna test. Yeah. But it doesn't feel so interesting.
Probably the most potential thing here is like Electrify, Electronite.
Of course, yeah. I'm not a huge Magneros fan, honestly.
Yeah.
Cool art, but not really a huge fan of it.
Yeah. All right. That's gonna be it for us for today. I'll see you guys later. I'm probably going to be putting out a video sometime later this week talking about choice restricts, because A-Drive has now said in the Discord that he's looking into choice restricts. So I think it'd be fun to do a video going like, hey, these are like the different types of choice restricts that you see in different card games, and like how those might like look in Elestrals, and what the like strength of those systems are. So look forward to that. And I'll see you guys later. This is Hunter Surge, signing off.
Peace.